I'm going to share a much better approach than setting goals. The problem with setting goals is that very often we put in a lot of work and we do a lot of things right, but we won't get the desired outcome, which leads to a lot of frustration, understandably. So you need to understand that when you set goals, you develop some sort of mechanism which tells you where to go. But once reaching it, this very mechanism fails telling you how to continue, what to do once reaching making 100k a year or losing 10 kilogram body weight. So afterwards, we actually feel empty. We don't know how to continue. This leads to a lot of frustration and desperation. And you see that very often amongst very successful people. Another big problem with setting goals is that we always have other variables and people involved who might have different goals or striving for a different outcome, which interferes with our intentions, therefore ultimately impacting our outcome or impacting the outcome which we have no control of. So we need to realize how little of an impact we sometimes have. We all know that from poker, right? We often simply have very little information when setting goals. So today you might set goals for a year, but like in 1 year, so many things can change and we might gather so many different information along the way. So along the way, so many different things can happen that will directly correlate with the outcome. So goals destroy flexibility. Furthermore, most people's goals are creating a feeling of stress and frustration because the goal seems so far away. For example, making $1 million, buying a house, and we lose the focus on the daily micro tasks we need to do in order to get there, or at least to get closer, which then can even lead to worse because we fail and we think we are a loser, and then we eat even worse and we eat more shit if our goal was to lose weight, or we spend more money on dumb shit instead of saving it to reach our 1 million. Just saving money or making $1 million as an illustration or as an example here. What would be a more effective and promising approach? Set systems. Don't set goals, set systems. Something I've been doing now for many years and it's so successful for me. Build an environment to achieve the best odds to reach your dreams or desires and wishes. Habits within the system that builds the strongest system possible. That's what you need to do. And that will also allow you the highest chances of success. For a poker player, focus on building a system where you meditate, where you work out, study, eat healthy, focus on your relationships. And then of course you keep tweaking and adjusting within your system, replacing habits and routines with better ones, and the score will take care of itself. Goals will limit you. You might reach 100k a year, but then you'll be satisfied. And in reality, you could have made 200k or 300k and you lose the fire and the passion after you've reached your 100k. Or you could have made 70 grand and you feel bad not reaching the 100k, but you did everything in your power and you feel disappointed, which is total insanity. Or you want to find the perfect girlfriend or boyfriend. So don't set the goal on finding one. Instead, build a system to be the best version of yourself, to attract that partner. You want to have a sportive partner? Well, instead of setting that goal and just, hey, I want to find a partner that is very sportive, instead install a system that will attract such partner. Or be in places where you do those activities, where you surround yourself with people that you might consider or you would like to have as a partner, going to a gym, working out in a park, or joining activities or clubs where they do certain activities. Just as a random example here. Don't get me wrong, it's totally okay to dream of a certain partner, but again, it is not fully in your control. It is simply a dream or wish. So don't focus on the outcome. Don't focus, okay, that is my goal, I need to go there. No, focus on the process and the system, because very often your system might be perfect, your approach might be perfect, but you don't get the result. Should you get frustrated? No, you did everything you can. Don't confuse goals with wishes and dreams. Most people's systems are dependent on outside factors, which then of course leads to a lot of frustration, disappointment, and low self-esteem. It's like you do so much, but you're not achieving your goals because you have a wrong focus. And of course, if you build a system, set 100% achievable, controllable, precise challenges and routines within that system with dates, deadlines, quantity. And of course, avoid results-oriented thinking. We dream of stacking our opponent, but we focus on the system to get there and win the maximum possible in the long term. And I want to use that example. Let's say you get aces. The very first thought you might have is not, oh my God, I'm gonna make 100 big blinds, I'm gonna win 100 big blinds. No, you actually have a system in place. You are going to make the right preflop decision, you're going to make a proper flop decision based on the board texture, based on the bet sizings, based on the pot size, based on the stage of the tournament, based on your opponents, all these small things. And you're operating within the system to make the best possible decisions from preflop to river. And then you see how much you can win. Just because you play it perfect doesn't always mean you're gonna win 100 big bets, right? Of course, if we get aces, our dream and our wish and our desire is always to stack our opponent. However, that's not always going to happen. Sometimes you only win 40 big blinds. Should you be mad about it? Of course not. It doesn't mean that you always play it perfect. It's always then important to revisit and look what we can do better, speaking about flexibility and adjusting. But for the most part, this is how we approach poker hands, and this is also how you should approach it in life, and you simply enjoy the process to get there. And then, as I said, the score will take care of itself, and all you do is tweaking your system from preflop to river. This is the system where you operate in, and the routines, the habits you have, the way you think, your thought process, of course, and your skill, your experience, and this will get better from time to time. And the better your system, the more likely it is that you will get better results. It's just a numbers game at the end. Sometimes you will have a perfect system and you might still lose. Should you be mad about it? No, of course, I'm not saying you should be happy. Yeah, we lost, but my system is totally perfect. No, that's not what I mean. Of course, we're still gonna be disappointed. But like, you guys, I feel like you're very hard on yourself, and very often you quit and you fail simply because you have the wrong focus. That's total insanity. I do believe, I mean, you watch content like this, you try to educate yourself, you try to grow as a person, you have the ability to admit that not everything is perfect in your life right now. That's why you're watching this video, otherwise you wouldn't be watching it. So you already have a huge edge over most of the people. But when it comes to your success, or when it comes to judging yourself, I feel like a lot of you guys are very hard on yourself. Be outcome independent and simply allow life to surprise you. It's always gonna surprise you. You have no control of the result. Allow life to work in your favor. By having a good system in place, you allow life to work in your favor. That's it. By having a strong and supportive system in place, you're simply increasing the odds. Don't be so attached to the details of the outcome and how it is gonna happen to it. You feel better about the whole process and not only about the outcome. And within your system, you're not allowing anything that is not in your control. So when you have a certain wish, when you have a certain dream, whether it is making X, Y, Z amount of money. I mean, that's the most popular goal. It's not all about money, but I guess most of you can relate to that. Don't allow anything that is not in your control. And listen, I know you little smart ass. Oh, the aliens might invade us, right? And suddenly I can't do my workout. I can't study. Under normal circumstances that you're 100% in control, right? It's only up to you if you can do that 10-minute workout, if you can do that 30-minute study routine. If you have a really busy day, you can do it the day after, or whatever excuse you might have. So like things where nobody else is involved, you not rely on anyone. Of course, there are always exceptions. So, but in general, 99% of the time in your system, no one but you has an influence on whether you achieve those micro tasks that will determine how strong your system is. Your goal is supposed to have a strong system, and then you will see what happens. And again, life is supposed to happen for you, and the stronger your system is, life will happen for you. And the worse, bad habits, bad routines, life is going to happen against you. That's your decision. Nobody else will make that decision. And now in 2021, I'm asking you, do you want to let life happen for you, or do you want to let life happen against you?